Okay, so first things first, we want to create a new project. So I'm just doing that here. I'm just creating a folder. I'm using Linux in this example, but if you're using Windows, it'll just be the same sort of process. It's called a NAF voice chat. I'm going to open that up in VS Code. Open up that folder. There we go. Then I just want, in this example, I'm just copying the entire network A-frame GitHub repository. So open a new terminal up. And just pasting the command that's in the repository. It's just literally just git clone and then the repository information. So you just need to go to your terminal in the direct folder that you're working in, type in that, and then it should clone all the code in that you need. We'll copy in a load of examples as well, but if you just, you can trim all that out later if you want, but anyway, that should do all that. And then we've got the entire, there you go. You can see now that we have go open up the terminal again in this folder this time and do an npm install, and it's just all done. Actually, at this point I need to install npm. Basically, just put npm install within your the directory you're going to be working in, the working directory, which installs all the packages required from package.json that comes with networked A-frame, which you'll obviously need to get networked A-frame running. There we go, so it's just up and running there, doing its magic behind the scenes. Obviously, prerequisite, you need npm installed for it to work. Then let's just boot up a server, npm run dev, the local server, type npm run dev. Then you want to open up our actual local server, take a look, does it work, does it not? So we go to, it's on HTTP localhost port 8000 or 880, sorry. So I'm going to go there, localhost port 8080, I think. No, I just typed it wrong that time, first time around. As you can see, we can just go control and click, which is probably what I should have done straight away. Anyway, we've got the basics, we've got all the examples that come with networked A-frame. In this, we're just going to use, I'm going to be working from in this example of how to add a chat functionality. I'm just going to use the name tag demo, but there are a bunch of demos which you could also probably modify to your own needs. And obviously, if you're going to do this from scratch, you could also just strip out, there's probably a lot of unnecessary stuff, but anyway, we're going to work from this, which gives you a color. You can change your username and your color. It just assigns a random color to the avatar. So that's now on localhost 8080 name tag.html in this example. I just created it as name tag HTML. You could add whatever. It's more I'm just testing out there that there is indeed both sessions are being loaded incorrectly, and they are, because I can see myself there, the two blobs, two spheres, I suppose, actually. So yeah, like I said, I just put it into the examples folder just because it's quick and fast to do it as this demo. This is all the code for name tag, and I just copied it and created a new HTML file called chat. Let's go to examples, new file, chat.html, and I'll just copied and pasted it, just so I don't have to write out, but all the code again would be pointless, really, considering there's already the example which is working for the name tags, which is quite nice. So I'm just searching around for there. Just Control A, copies, Control C, obviously. Just paste that in there. Okay. Let's just get A-frame. It's got your library components all there. That's already working. We know because we tested it out before. And there's a ton of code there, which just HTML, CSS, no CSS I use, but JavaScript. There's a bunch of CDN references there. Just changing the title. You see, got A-frame there, socket IO, easy RTC, network A-frame, etc., etc. A-frame extra controls. I mean, you could take and remove these as you wish. It's not necessarily required. Okay. And that's just that. Just looking at the code at this point. As it's been a while since I used network A-frame. So if you've got any understanding of A-frame and HTML and JavaScript, you should have a rough idea what most of this is doing. There are specific templates you load in with network A-frame, I believe, which because I'm not used it for a while, I'm not completely 100% on everything, but the basic core way that you structure everything is the same. You've got your A scene, your A assets, you contain all your entities within that markup. Yeah. So that's what I'm just referring to there. And it's all set up for you, like I said, because I'm just working from an example and modifying it basically. Shortly I'll get onto the actual adding of this is fairly simple. I worked from an example I found on Stack Overflow and it actually worked straight away. But basically, we just need to add some UI for the chat, with a send button, and it's not pretty or anything. It's just and some associated style sheet as well. So there we go. We've got chat UI. So that's what you add. You add div ID, which is container, input ID, text ID, chat input, button ID, chat button, which is the button that you press to send messages, div ID messages. Also some style information you need to add too, which hopefully I left in. But yeah, basically you just add, just formatting a bit there. So yeah, just a container with an input and a button, and a div with a specific ID of messages, which is where messages will be displayed basically. So you just put that above a scene. You don't want it in that because it's UI user interface. It's not actually within the a scene in this example. Okay. And you should get something equivalent to that. I did actually miss off the styling, but it's fairly standard. I mean, there's no styling. The only thing there's styling on is the messages box, actually. And you can see this as width 400, height 200, position absolute, Z index, and then background color, and blah, blah, blah. Fairly standard stuff. Literally just styling up the message box. And then, okay, so I just copied in a bunch of code there, like I work for this glitch example, and I'm going to talk through it once it actually works in this example. Like I said, this is pretty rough and ready demo. I'm just sort of I was requested to try and implement this functionality, and there we go. So, put the classic message, hello world. You get and that pops up, hello world. Hey world. Again, send, and then just to show that if another user is logged in, you open a new tab, localhost 8080 chat. There's the other user that was me before. I'm moving around, and you go, hey dude, send the message, and then you'll see in the other. It doesn't have the history unfortunately, but as soon as you get on, you'll see the latest from that point in the session. They'll see both. That's a hello. You can see both windows, both users. They can see the messages. It works. Yeah, good. And just after this, I'll just very briefly talk about the actual JavaScript. So one important thing to note here is I had to put it after the ascene, just before the end body tag, otherwise it wouldn't work. So we've got a query selector here for the button, and I've added the query selector to the chat button ID, chat input ID, messages. Obviously add an event listener for the click event for pressing send on the button, which is BTN, which is the query selector below. And then the API network to A-frame connection. That basically works, and that's just, again, like I've explained before, it's the chat UI with the associated IDs. Bada bing, bada bosh. That's how you do that. Pretty simple, pretty fast. You could obviously build on it, but yeah, that's it.